What's up everyone? Alex here. The whole time I was playing through Bloomtown: A Different Story, I kept thinking to myself, man, this really feels like Persona. Sure, it starts off feeling like a cross between Stardew Valley and Earthbound, especially when you're taught to plant crops and meet various townsfolk. But when you start getting deep into it, the Persona connections start to become apparent. Your social connections are called confidants. You've got demons to summon, literal shadows to sneak up behind to get the jump on them, and a battle song that evokes Persona 5's vibes. And you know what? I think I like it. Before I share with you my thoughts after playing through the demo twice and after 2.5 hours of playing, I think it's important to get to know the developers real quickly, of which there are two. Lazy Bear Games released a game earlier this year based on the League of Legends franchise called Bandletale: A League of Legends Story. But I know them as the developers of Punch Club 1 and 2 and Graveyard Keeper, which is Stardew Valley but grim and darker. Quite fun too. These devs are known for their often intense focus on stat building and the incredible pixel art that their games showcase. On the other side, we have Different Sense Games, who seems to be the game's primary developer. This is their first game. The premise starts off with your mom sending you and your brother to live with your grandfather in Bloomtown. And if that alone gave you some Gravity Falls vibes, you're not alone. Much like the aforementioned show, Bloomtown plays host to a dark underside that's preying upon its townsfolk, and it's up to your ragtag team to figure out why this is happening, while saving each resident from the demons that have manifested thanks to their fears and vices. From a gameplay perspective, Bloomtown's got everything that a modern RPG should have. It's got a quest tracker that helps you keep track of both the main and side quest objectives. You've got a handy map so you can quickly find your way through town, and a set of menus that's easy to navigate and use. Nothing in Bloomtown gets in the way of your enjoyment, which is a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways. And as mentioned at the beginning of this video, Bloomtown takes a lot of inspiration from the Persona series, namely Persona 5, in that even the concept of the underside is not so dissimilar to the palaces in the aforementioned game. There's a contract that you have to sign to summon demons. The command menu during combat assigns buttons to a specific command, speeding up your input. There's the ability to quickly check enemy weaknesses, as well as the presence of technicals, whose terminology is straight up lifted from its inspiration. And there's even all-out attacks. And to be fair, who doesn't like Persona 5? If there was one game that a developer could use for inspiration for their upcoming turn-based RPG, I can't find a more fitting game to draw from than Persona 5. That said, there are a few things that Bloomtown does differently. While the demo featured lots of different elemental spells that you can cast on your foes, the way that they behave feel more like debuffs rather than dealing direct magical damage. For example, the Electrify ability will give an enemy the Electrify status, which means that every time that enemy attacks you, his teammates will receive damage. It's also because of this that you don't get a turn when hitting an enemy's weakness. That said, I do hope that the full version has traditional direct damage spells. And unlike Persona 5, your party members can also have an additional demon on top of what they already come with. I also noticed that Bloomtown doesn't let you run from combat, which I found really strange. The only critique that I have about the battle system is the lower hit rate percentage of both melee attacks and spells. You spend a good amount of time missing your attacks in Bloomtown, especially when compared to other RPGs. This, combined with its different approach to elemental magic, makes battles feel longer than they should be. Although to be fair, there weren't a lot of demons in the demo dungeon to begin with. I should also point out that demons don't respawn until you leave the dungeon and come back, which I wasn't able to do in the demo. What kept me coming back despite that is the mystery the game sets up. It's very easy to think that Bloomtown's plot will mirror much of Persona 5. After all, it borrows so much from it already. But I think that's what its developers want us to think, that we know this story already, only to drop a plot bomb that'll just blindside us. And when you see Bloomtown for the first time, you'll immediately fall in love with its visuals. While I don't really know how much work each developer put into the game, its gorgeous color palette, combined with its highly expressive sprite work, really helps set Bloomtown apart from every other RPG of its kind. Its various environments are beautiful, detailed, and intricate, and there's so much to look at that your eyes will feast. Every piece of pixel art is lovingly crafted, detailed, and well animated. I honestly could just spend all day staring at it. This is also accompanied by a soundtrack that complements its visuals well, appropriately providing chill and easygoing songs as you're exploring Bloomtown proper, while grunging it up whenever you're exploring the underside. Exploring Bloomtown itself is super fun, and absolutely evokes that friendly small-town vibe that games like Earthbound and Stardew Valley exemplify. The demo gives us just enough time to meet townsfolk while spinning its mystery, and I greatly appreciated that. One part of the demo had me trying to convince a museum curator that I found a real-life dinosaur, and that I wished to donate it. My success was based on stats that I allocated at the beginning of the game, which reminds me more of games like Fallout and Mass Effect. And to add an element of randomness to this, its success was determined by a dice roll, which we've seen before in Baldur's Gate 3 and Disco Elysium. And of course, to bring it back to Persona 5, you can improve these stats in the game by just doing various activities. So to summarize my time with the demo, it's Gravity Falls with a sprinkle of Baldur's Gate 3 and Disco Elysium, a tiny bit of Fallout and Mass Effect, the chill town vibes of Stardew Valley and Earthbound, and a whole lot of Persona 5. It's clear that its developers loved all of the games and shows that I mentioned, and it was in full display when I played this demo. And honestly, I can't wait to play this game when it comes out on September 24th on all modern platforms. All that aside, I'm curious if you played this demo, and if not, what do you think of what you've seen? Post your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it. I was also given a chance to play through a brand new chapter of Sword of Convaleria recently, and it changes up how you play its single-player campaign. I also spent a good chunk of time examining and analyzing the gameplay trailers for the brand new Atelier Yumiya that was announced recently. You'll find them all right here, so go check them out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.